war to bring in finally this whole structure of world government, world central bank, world army, microchip population, world currency, and all the rest of it. So all these things are moving as one unit. They appear to be, to most people, unconnected as you look at the invasion of Iraq and Afghanistan and the financial. It's all moving.
That was also meant to demonize
one flow of energy.
That was also meant to demonize the name of the U.S., to put the sins of the New World Order on the U.S., like they used the Soviets previously to carry out their dirty work. They also need a global economic crisis that can be blamed on America to set up their world government. And now, all over the financial papers the last 2 weeks, they propose the private banks becoming the world government. I mean, that is so unbelievable.
I was reading a piece when I was traveling about the head of the IMF saying that the IMF should become a central coordinating, basically police force for the global banking system. There's the open suggestion now of this world central bank that we've been talking about for so long, and so what we're looking at is. Ironically, while America is getting this flack, while America gets the finger pointed at it, actually, although it's firing the bullets, if you like, in places like Iraq and Afghanistan and what have you, the guns being loaded in Europe, and they're in Europe, you know, in the center of the secret society web. But Europe is basically going, who, me? I've got nothing to do with it. It's America.
David, I got a break. When we come back, long segment, I want to hear your solutions. How to combat this now. I say expose is really behind it, A, but what else can we do?
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
All right, I know we're on air, everybody, for a few stations that don't even carry some of the breaks, and for the Internet viewers at prisonplanet.tv and folks listening at Infowars.com. But, David, so you don't say anything with too much of substance here, so some of the full audience can't hear it. We're going to be back in 2 minutes, and we'll finish up with this and then get into the nature of reality itself and how people can shift their paradigm into a larger horizon, okay?
Oh, that would be great.
Okay, we'll be back in 2 minutes, sir.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Stock, so it's a lot different for them. Well, we know one thing's certain right now. We're headed into much higher prices on food, and there is a global food shortage. Now, what can you do to prepare? Do what I did. Sell some toys off in the garage. Go to the J. Michael Stevens eFoodsDirect.com company. Get some food and put it away and be safe. Put a little security in your life. You deserve security. Go to eFoodsDirect.com, eFoodsDirect.com, 1-800-409-5633. Put some food away. Do it now. 1-800-409-5633.
On September 11th, 2001, along with hundreds of my fellow troops, I went to Ground Zero, and we knew what to do. Or at least we thought we did.
Truth Rising is a breakthrough 9/11 film that finally gives first responders a platform to tell their story.
Whitman, EPA director, on the 18th made a statement that the air was safe to breathe.
This film follows the growing momentum of 9/11 truth as brave souls throughout the world take action against their global masters.
He had his hand over the radio while he was getting a countdown. He takes his hand off and you hear 3, 2, 1, and it was boom, 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 boom.
This is an emergency transmission worldwide. Download Truth Rising at prisonplanet.tv and aggressively spread it worldwide, or order the DVD at Infowars.com. If we don't expose the government-sponsored terror, they're going to commit more acts and bring in martial law.
More than 700 chemicals have been found in our drinking water. And did you know that you have greater exposure to these chemicals while taking hot showers than when drinking the water? That's because many chemicals are inhaled when they evaporate, and others are absorbed into the skin. The KDF Dual Media Shower Filter works with both hot and cold water, and it's designed to reduce chlorine, lead, mercury, and iron, and it inhibits the growth of bacteria, mold, algae, and fungus. The KDF Dual Media Shower Filter typically lasts 10,000 gallons, or 1 year, whichever comes first. Hospitals, restaurants, and water treatment facilities use this media to reduce chlorine, iron, heavy metals, and bacteria. What about you? Order your KDF shower filter normally $49 for our special price of only $39.99 with free shipping. Call the Berkey Guy and order now by calling 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or simply click on the banner at gcnlive.com to order online now.
instead of the states getting rid of some of the 3 million police, or all the welfare, or all the largesse to get people domesticated, and all the spending and the billions per major city, billions per city. New York's had $5 billion in cameras put in the last 4 years. Boston in 1 year had $2 billion worth of cameras put in. Homeland Security's now announced all those free federal traffic cameras, they were DARPA designed by the Pentagon to watch you. They're scanning your faces. No, instead of doing any of that, they are saying they're going to bail out all the states. $7 billion for California, $5 billion for Florida. They're going to, quote, bail out select crony corporations owned by the same private central banks. The stock market's down by 700-plus points right now and plunging, dwarfing what happened last Monday. They promised you if you submitted and gave them unlimited power, they'd be nice to you. And now there's debates on talk radio and TV about, did they say the bailout would do that? Or are people making that up? They know the public doesn't have a memory for last week, or does the public? David, I want to finish up with the economy and get into the nature of reality, but there seems to be a shocking of the conscious. And I've seen that in some psychological tests they've done at major universities studying rodent psychology, which is very similar to human group psychology, in these controlled mazes, shocking, yelling, noise, heat, cold on rats, till they finally just go into a catatonic state and shake in the corner. And, you know, having CBS News come out and say, mercury is good for your brain. Taking mercury shots helps your brain cells. Now, that's an actual newscast. I've played it 50 times. I'm not going to play it today, but if you want, I'll play it. Or I've got MSNBC saying, actually, poison in food is good from China. We need poison in the food. Yeah. And then tens of thousands, just finishing up this statement, tens of thousands get sick from melamine on purpose in the milk because it shows on a protein test, if somebody tests it, that it has high protein, and then it turns out it's in a bunch of food lines here in the U.S., where most of the food additives and drugs get made for the U.S. is now in China, same for Europe, and they admit it's killing hundreds of Chinese that drank too much, and it attacks your kidneys, gives you cancer, and the FDA comes out yesterday and says, actually, it's good for you. So it seems like they're almost lying to be caught, as you said, to surface and shock everyone into just kind of submitting. Your comments?
Well, this will be kind of very interesting, what you've been talking about with the food additives and stuff, when we get into the nature of reality and the way it's manipulated. But in terms of the laboratory mouse or the laboratory rat, funnily enough, in my talks I do a section about that. And it's very clear that when you put it all together, Alex, when you put all the shocks, all the constant instructions, all the do's and don'ts, all the punishments for increasingly fine detail little things like I talked about last time, people being fined in Britain for feeding the birds, people being fined for putting a card in their car saying it's for sale when it's their own car. What it is like is exactly like the laboratory rat, because of course when they're doing those experiments, when the rat goes down certain channels, it gets a shock. After a few shocks, it doesn't go down that channel anymore, and you can take the shock equipment away, it still won't go down that channel because it's been programmed not to do that by the carrot and the stick. It's okay going down this one, we'll leave you alone. Go down that one, there's a problem. Now, take this on a mass scale of all the things that are being thrown at us, and that's what they're doing. They are manipulating so many shocks on the mind, creating so many fears, so many traumas, that we become subservient, and this, and basically anything for a quiet life. Yes, sir. No, sir. Just save me.
Well, here's an example. In England and the U.S., if an adult is at the park, and I, when I was single, went for walks at the park all the time or jogs, the police come over and ask, "Are you a pedophile?" I mean, how bizarre. Or Steve Watson out for a date in London. They come over and put him in a terror database. Clean-cut, nice-looking guy with a master's degree in political science with a great-looking girlfriend. Everybody I know in England has had this happen to them. It happened to me when I was there, where they put me in a terror database. They're letting you know you're a slave.
Exactly. And, it's something that is very important for people to appreciate, that we've been bombarded with shocks on purpose, so that we will become subservient and we will give our power away. And I tell a wonderful example, which really was encapsulated in one headline. When the taser started coming